Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me live. This is Nikki, the CEO of Transform Nursing, and I am on a mission to create strong leaders who practice social justice as part of their daily work practice. Thanks for joining me live again. Today's topic is wellness only for the well? So let me just share with you a little bit about my practices and what I do. So I believe that everyone is responsible for creating space for socially just practices, whether that's in your personal or your professional life. And my goal at Transform Nursing is to partner with organizations who already have this as their mission or part of their vision or who want to create it. Creating a space for social justice is more than just having a cultural competency training, more than having International Food Day at work or other sort of one-off kinds of activities, right? It's a daily acknowledgement that we have to look at ourselves, be more introspective. We have to be willing to reflect on our behavior, understand our intentions and questions, even our own most deeply held values, to make sure that we are not compromising the opportunities of others. So again, for those that are just joining, thanks so much. Again, today's topic is wellness only for the well? I want to know if you are an organization or know of an organization that's directly working in wellness or doing work related to wellness, right? So are you an organization that's doing wellness kind of work or doing work for the community that's related to wellness? And I'm really interested in organizations, again, that are doing work for the community. If you are one, please shout yourself out right now and drop a comment in the comment section. I want to shout myself out too, because at Transform Nursing, my work has to do with social justice advocacy for patients and people who are in the community, right? So that's really the work that I do. And so oftentimes in community-based social justice advocacy, voices get left out and people don't get heard. And that's a part of the work that I do, is really amplifying the voice of those who really need to be heard in the community. And truly, I want this to be a place and space right now where social entrepreneurs are sharing their social capital. And as a nurse and social entrepreneur myself, who's doing work directly related to wellness, I want to continue to create space for other people that are local or national, wherever, to really build that platform to support and care and share for one another. I am also, yes, woohoo, Jocks. That's right. And what Kima has shouted out is Jocks Lincolnshire Care Plus program, for which I am the nurse coordinator for this program. So we're going to be talking about Jocks too. So I'm doing this live also sort of as a teaser for a wellness webinar that I'm going to be doing on March 19th. Called Social Justice in Wellness, and it's going to be for the National Wellness Institute, and that's going to be on March 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to drop a link in the comment section of this at the end so that you can sort of learn about what it's going to be all about. But again, it's really about what is social justice and wellness, and how do we sort of aspire to that as wellness professionals? What are some of the barriers that we identify, and how do we make sure that all people are a part of that process? All right, so on to the topic at hand. Is wellness only for the well? That's a question I'm asking you. What are your thoughts about that? Is wellness only for the well? What I do know is that wellness is a billion-dollar industry, and it ranges from things such as wellness tourism, in which people travel, right, for the purpose of promoting their own health and well-being through physical, psychological, or even spiritual activities that they do. It also includes receiving acupuncture, massage therapy, infrared sauna treatment, which I actually want to try. I heard that is really, really spectacular. To vitamin infusions, laser therapy, naturopathic medicine, chiropractic care, all the way down to juices and smoothies, right? And while all of these activities promote wellness in some way, it's hard to find out how these activities are affordable for everyone. Do you hear me? With the average salary for Americans at age 40 hovering around $45,000 a year, I wonder, can we really say that wellness is for everyone? The Talk Poverty Organization estimates that in 2015, 13.5% of Americans, that's 43.1 million people, lived in poverty in this country. Yet other scholars underscore the number of Americans living in near poverty, which is a real epidemic, closer to 100 million, or nearly a third of the US population. So what kinds of advertisements for wellness do you see? And are they reflective of people who are maybe poor or even near poverty? I can say that most of the advertisements that I see in the media show people who are most likely middle class, have jobs, they look like they're living pretty comfortable, they can drink a smoothie, right? In essence, what I'm seeing is not reflective of those 100 million people living in near poverty, or even the 43 million living in poverty. And I wondered why it is that wellness professionals are so silent on engaging all people in wellness, since it's such a great thing. I found some answers in an incredible blog by a brave wellness professional, Chrissy King. And I want to shout her out, and I want to share her perspective for the need for wellness people to be involved in social justice efforts. Chrissy King is a fitness coach, a feminist, and blogger, and she wrote a really brave blog called Trainers and Fitness Pros Can't Help People of Color While Remaining Silent About Racism. Deep, right? I'm going to repeat that. Trainers and fitness pros can't help people of color while remaining silent about racism. And in a podcast that I listened to her, she said she was so scared to write this blog that she actually wrote it, and then she ran away. She shut the computer and she ran away. And I get it. I mean, who wouldn't be when you're putting it all out there like that, right? In her blog, she says, the fitness industry has long been catering to a predominantly white audience. And as a result, it's usually oblivious to issues of access, diversity, inclusivity, and intersectionality, as are a great many of our trainers and instructors. So she was really commenting on exactly what wellness professionals really need to identify. And they are, but they're doing it for a very specific group and a specific population of people. And I commend Chrissy for saying something and being a strong voice, speaking out on the importance of social justice in our fitness world, in our wellness world, and most importantly, of it being a part of everyday life, because it has to be. Now, why did she say something about it? Well, this blog happened for Chrissy just after Charlottesville. And we remember Charlottesville, right? The act of white supremacy, where anti-racist protesters gathered. What she noticed was that her wellness professionals in her community, when she was going on Facebook right after this was happening, they seemed like they had just moved on. There was no commentary about it. No one was saying anything. And Chrissy was over here reeling from shock and horror. And I think that it bothered her enough to write that blog. Wellness is a right, just like healthcare is a right. And citizens should not have to feel as though they can't be well because they can't afford to be. The choice to eat healthy, have access to parks and recreations, to gyms even, should not be relegated to the privileged enough, the ones with enough money, and those who live in communities where they have easy access to them. So how do we make sure that all people can achieve wellness? I think we have to build it into our daily practices and thought processes, just like we would social justice. We have to think about access for all people, care about and creatively come up with ways to bring greater equity to all Americans. I want to share some examples, one being of a local organization that I happen to work for, who are doing work directly related to community level wellness, and that organization is the JOCS Initiative, who has as part of their very mission health equity, and they have goals related to it. And the way that they are achieving it, and we are achieving it, I'm actually sitting right here in the Journey Center right now, is that we are offering HIV testing services. We are offering Linkage to Care Plus services to folks who are HIV positive and who are out of care and who need to be relinked and who may need further community level support. We're offering PrEP Connect to Care, youth drop-in programs, and we are imagining ways that we can further fit our program to the needs of the community, such as rapid Connect to Care for folks who are using substances, who may need mental health and further connections. The bottom line is we truly cater to the community. Other great examples of institutional organizations striving for equity is the Prevention Institute, who are now promoting park equity. Many communities with low household incomes and communities of color have few or no green spaces, and existing parks and recreation may be poorly maintained, understaffed, unwelcoming, and unsafe. And the Prevention Institute is working to create strategies to eliminate park inequity, one of which is funding community-based organizations that work in and with park poor communities. Another organization right here in Baltimore too is Open Society that identifies root causes of indicators such as opioid misuse and over-reliance on incarceration. And what they do is they find social entrepreneurs who are coming up with these incredibly creative ways to bring wellness to all communities. And I want you to share, if you know other places, other organizations, if you are one that is doing the work to bring social justice and wellness to people and to really make a space for wellness for all, then I want you to drop your comments in the comment section. I want to build community with you. I know the work towards wellness for all is a constant journey. And by taking some time out of your day-to-day, daily schedule, just to take a moment to think bigger, think bolder about the community you live in, the community that you serve, just by doing a little bit, you will bring us that much closer to creating a society in which we are all able to achieve wellness. I hope you enjoyed this live as much as I did. And remember to please join me on March 19th at 4 p.m. for my webinar, Social Justice and Wellness through the National Wellness Institute. You can also reach me at my website, which is www.transformnursing.com. I'm super excited that you joined today, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.